there are many recommendations for the correct installation and Wi-Fi deployment, but here are the most important one. The first one is, and Tom and also Chris commented about this, if the AP is a wall plate, that is for walls. It must be installed on walls, and it is not for a ceiling. If you have an Arista AP that starts with C, that is from ceiling, it must be installed correctly on ceilings and free of obstructions or ductwork. Sometimes for aesthetics, the people decide to hide the APs behind the panels. So this is wrong too. The distance between the APs needs to be uniform as possible. Otherwise, they have many issues with handoff that does not work, or your session is going to be still linked to a distant AP, or you run out of the coverage area, or you completely lose connectivity. So the recommendation here is put the distance between the APs must be between 40 and 60 feet, okay? The next one is, there are areas where there is no way to get UTP to each AP. So in this case, it's necessary to make a mesh here. Honestly, we cannot guarantee the quality of the network because in this case, we use a radio to be able to make connection between the other APs. So this also is a very common scenario. And here we need to be very careful with the design, okay? The solutions usually come ready to select the best channel. In the case of Arista, it is like that, but if that does not work for some reason, it is most likely there is a channel interference. So we need to go and see which channels of the 2.4 gigahertz band are we using, okay? ICAHAO allows to do the modeling so that we can choose which is the best coverage that we can give in the specific spaces. Here we see a floor plan in this side of an office without walls, so where the coverage is very good. The image in the middle here is almost the same thing, but here this line in blue color is basically a concrete wall that is stopping all the signal, and in this side is a floor plan with normal walls, basically. So we can see here that with one AP, we can propagate the signal to all the different rooms. Here is almost the same plant or the same floor plant, and it is seen how the coverage is excellent with 4 APs here. This is 1 AP, 2, 3, and 4 APs installed in order to cover the entire area, okay? So the APs should always go as close as possible to the users. And if it's a multi-level building, we must stagger the APs. That is the recommendation, okay? Usually in 2.4 and in 5 gigahertz, the design is made and the maximum signal level allowed is according to ICAHAO recommendation, minus 67 dBm. So there are some buildings, for example, where the walls are very thick, especially large hotels, where it is sometimes necessary to turn off the radios in 2.4 in order to avoid channel interference. So this is a normal scenario for the big hotels, okay? As I said before, the wiring is critical. So I would not to recommend categories lower than 5E for the new projects. So this is going to guarantee at least a speed of 1 giga per AP. If it's a project with Wi-Fi 6, as I said, we must go with Cat 6 at least. For outdoor environments, we use special cabling due to water and very high or very low temperatures, okay? In this case, also the optical part, this is more talking about not only wireless, this is also more focused on the switching side. The optical part is important. Here you can see the maximum distance supported in 10 gigabytes and 25 gigabits. And as we can see here, we can have, for example, long reach fibers in order to manage distances of up to 10 kilometers, or short range fibers in order to handle 300 meters, okay? There are many variations at the design level. This is going to depend on the quantity of APs, the dimensions of the building, and many other things. So sometimes we have to integrate our Wi-Fi solution to the existing switching, and some other times we need to propose, or we have the opportunity to propose our campus switches. So we recommend the AP model according to the, as I said, to the maximum quantity of users, maximum quantity of devices. And also, for example, in this example, we have 3 different buildings connected to the internet in 100 gigabits, and we are using AP C250 or C260, combined with 720XP switches for PoE. And in this case, those ones are the 7020 SRs or the 7050s, okay? With, in the case of the 7020 SRs, with 24 ports, 10 giga to the core, and after that to the internet. This is a variation of the same design, but using 96 port switches. In this case, the distances from the building give us the option to put this product, okay? With this slide, basically, we're going to almost to finish. This is a variation again in the campus side using the spines in 7020 or in 7050, and using the different types of the 720 XP, okay? And this is a typical old core for many organizations where they still asking for dual fabric chassis, dual power supply, redundancy options in the fans, dual processor. So in this case, we propose the Arista 73 series together with the 720 or with the 7020 or the 720 for campus, okay? So this is the last slide, and here we can see all the points that normally we test before deliver the network. This is like the acceptance test plan that we must review to make sure that the network was installed and configured correctly. So the first thing is, normally all the enterprise universities customers ask to integrate the Wi-Fi solution with a radius or with a NAC solution. So the first thing is verify that the authentication is working successfully. Also nowadays, as you know, the network access control is very common and it's very fancy in the market. So many organizations are deploying NACs. So we need to test also the segmentation with the NAC. Verify that the captive portals are being loaded in the different phones, the DNS, all the SSIDs are configured, and the speed in each SSID is working fine. Check the WIPS rules for security, check the bandwidth restrictions, the application control, the DHCP. If it's normally in all the networks, we verify the quality of service, but if this Wi-Fi network is going to use voice or streaming, so it's more important, obviously, to have well configured the quality of service. We need to validate the traffic per AP, per SID, deliver in the latest firmware version all the APs in order to give the better performance and all the functionalities. And in the floor plans, we need to verify that the floor plans are loaded, the APs are well located there in order to see the heat maps and the clients moving there.